1, 2, 3, 4! From the Riffs!
Welcome to From the Riffs. I'm Carmen Belair. Big Will's not here today. This is the last day of the Palladium Open House, and he had to go home early. I got Madman Mike here, Mike Leonard from the boards, and he's a Rifter contributor, and he's just like a Palladium go-getter. He's done some really cool little art stuff too with that computer digitized stuff, and you've done all kinds of stuff. You're here at every open house, and you go to conventions, and you're like the cheerleader pep squad for Palladium.
Absolutely.
What brings you, like what gets you going with this? Like what brings you here, and give us a little bit about.
Well,
I
had somebody in a panel talk tell me I needed to put this on YouTube.
All right.
That it's important. And the second year that I was here, Eric Wujcik was, God rest his soul, and he told me I needed to tell everybody too. So that's what I'm going to do. I have Asperger's syndrome, a form of highly functional autism, which, it's really a spectrum. You can be really dysfunctional and you can be mildly dysfunctional, but a good portion of people who have this hobby often fall into the spectrum. It causes social ailments that we've all experienced at one time or another as gamers who are geeks and have done the things that we do. But for me, I was socially inept on a large scale. I didn't have that filter that told me what was appropriate to say to somebody and what wasn't. If I thought it, I said it, and people didn't like me for it. Got beat up a lot in school. I was a classic 80s nerd kid who just didn't ever fit in. And I was into comic books and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before it got kidified, when it was that cool black and white comic. I was collecting that, and one day I was at the comic book store standing in line with my new Turtles, and I looked up and I saw that book over there, and it had, I knew that was Kevin Eastman art, and it was Mutants Down Under.
Okay.
So I picked it up, and I was like, man, this is awesome, some sort of game, and I took it home and read it and realized it wasn't the game, it was a supplement.
It was like part of it.
Yeah, I had to, okay, so I went back and I looked at this big shelf section, and this was a store that had 2 full 3 shelf sections of nothing but Palladium books. And I just started buying them one by one by one by one. And so a couple of years go by, and I've got these things and realize I don't have any friends. How am I ever going to learn to play this with somebody? But I was walking through the cafeteria, and I saw Ninjas and Super Spies sitting on the table next to somebody at lunch.
Okay.
And that guy's still my friend today, 25 years later almost.
So you just sat down and
started talking about it, and it helped me get past that social awkwardness because it was clear that I had something in common with this guy. And along the way, I started realizing that if I'm going to play this character type or that character type well, I need to figure out what makes them tick. And what makes them tick can be seen in people and in movies all over. So I started studying what's considered normal behavior, and the role-playing games really helped me to completely overcome being autistic. I've spent almost the last 5 years being a successful salesperson, going to people in their homes and talking to them and selling them things and getting along with them and making friends because of role-playing games. I owe it all to Palladium books.
I mean, I agree with you that that kind of thing happened with me. You've heard my story, right?
Yeah.
I have a really, really bad version of dyslexia, and I couldn't read until I was like 18. And it was role-playing games, Palladium book games, that I first learned to read on.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, that kind of stuff. And
and look what it's brought you. You've written books for them. At overcoming that. I mean, the power of imagination is truly captured by role-playing games.
Yeah, it gives you something to get into, and something to put your mind and effort towards, and a goal. Yeah, it's great. Now, more to the point, what now that you're over that and you do game, like what kind of stuff do you like best?
Well, I never actually got to play a character. I was always a game master.
Yeah.
The very first character I played was one of Julius's in the first open house in a Heroes Unlimited game, and I loved every second of it. And it actually made me a better game master to have gotten the chance to play because I realized the other side of it. I have a tendency, if it's fantasy, to go for the tank fighter guy and just get in there and wail.
Go out and start smacking around.
I love the notion of a magic character, but I've never had the opportunity to play one. The spells here and there.
Yeah.
That's kind of an outside the box thing to think about casting magic as your weapon. And being autistic, I can conceive of the idea that there is a box, and I know everybody else is in the box. but I really have trouble putting myself in there too.
Yeah.
So the more out there stuff usually gets me. But usually I game master Rifts, and that's what we're playing. And I'm really big on Heroes Unlimited too.
So you like Rifts, Heroes? It's good.
I mean, every one of the games. I haven't had a chance to play Spicers. I've run post-apocalyptic games with Night Bane and with the Systems Failure that we did. And
Gamer.
usually the best thing that I've found when I'm gaming with my friends is letting them decide what we're going to do, because I'll do any of it.
That's cool. That's cool. And what about at the open house? Did you run? Did you play any?
This time around, I got to play in a couple of games. I played in your game.
Yeah.
And spanked the monkey.
Yeah. You solved the secret to the game, and
it was a lot of fun.
Even when I hid that little tiny figure way inside a building, you still found it. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was awesome. Go on to Facebook and look me up as Mike Leonard, and you'll see pictures.
Oh, you took pictures?
I went through and took pictures of the entire setup, so I'm going to put up a whole set of pictures to show what the town looked like and where everybody was.
Yeah.
And there'll be the pictures of us all standing there with Carmen the Loser.
Yeah, all right.
But no, that was awesome, and I put together a Heroes Unlimited game. And being an artist, I have a tendency to find inspiration in art like everybody else does, but I also find inspiration by letting the art come and then using that.
Yeah.
So I sat down a few weeks ago and made a character. Well, actually, a couple of months ago, because of my accident, I've been home since December. And I made a picture. I thought, this would be cool. I put an alien dropship in the middle of a intersection in a city and put a bunch of aliens coming out, just looking around. And I posted it online and put links to it. And said, I've always wanted to run an alien invasion game with Heroes Unlimited. And then somebody responded saying, you should do that at the open house. I was like, yeah, he's right. So I just started coming up with ideas for pictures of superheroes. And when I did the superhero picture, I'd set it aside and say, okay, that guy's, that one's going to be psychic, and that one I think we'll give him a magic sword. It'll be mystic. It'll be sword with it. Yep. And then I made the characters from the pictures. And when I started doing that, I thought, you know what, I could easily make little cardboard minis from these.
Yeah, the dropship was really cool.
I made the dropship. I did four sides in the top, and so I could set it down. I could set it down on top of the aliens. So there's a moment where, okay, this is the dropship, and they're like, okay, are the aliens coming out? And I say yes, and I pick it up, and there's 40 aliens there.
Yeah. I saw that from the other side while I was running, and I was like, what is he doing over there?
Yeah.
Taking a look, see what it was you were unveiling.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the great things. I mean, there's a never-ending supply of creative energy that we all have and just haven't learned how to tap. And I encourage everybody to get their kids into role-playing games and their friends, because once you start to get that high from being creative, it's like a snowball going down a hill. It just gets better and better every time.
So what did you think of the open house as a whole?
Like I say, I've been here every year. I've been here the 2 years where they didn't have it.
Yeah.
They said, no, we can't have it this year because we need to move into a different facility. And Mark Oberly and I piled into my car, and I drove 660 miles up here, and we helped them move. And
I was there for that.
Yeah, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I've got to post some of the video from that I took that weekend. Not all of it, but some of it. But, coming to Palladium Books Open House is like going to a family reunion, but with people you like. We all have those moments where we're just nervous to be in this crowd or to be around. That doesn't happen at the open house. Everybody is cool. You come in and you set your computer laptop down, and then you go do something and come back. Nobody messes with anybody's stuff. It's an honest crowd, and it's great people. And I say it's like being with your best friends all the time. Every year I think of the theme song of Cheers when I walk in, because it's like I was here yesterday every time I see everybody. And it's just pick right up where we left off.
Yeah, I know. I had my camera sitting out there. I had my laptop and all my stuff for doing the vids, all just sitting there when I wasn't using it, and didn't really think about it at all.
Yeah.
And it's
a safe,
great.
Comfortable environment to be the geeks that we are.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you came. It was great seeing you again. We're basically out of time, so we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
I'm loving this podcast. Get everybody to watch it. You just send it to everybody. Yeah. I have so many people in my family that don't understand. They're like, what is that about? And I have said, watch this one.
Yeah.
Watch this one. And I've linked on my Facebook page every one of these episodes saying that.
I didn't even know you watched them. So.
Oh yeah, I've been watching. I'm glad you're doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that the market needs, because as much as we all know how good role-playing games are, there are so many people that have not yet realized that it's an inexpensive, awesome hobby that you can do with
Yeah.
everybody, and,
Yeah,
and have so much more fun than letting the machine tell you what to do.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap and easy to get into, and
Yeah.
it only takes a little bit of creativity.
Exactly.
But anyway, thanks, Madman. This is Madman Mike. I'm Carmen Blair. That was From the Riffs. Sorry about the sore-sounding voice, but it is the last day, and my voice is cracking. I've been running and just going crazy all weekend, and you know, that's about it. And I'm just trying to get these last ones done, so that's it. And like I said, From the Riffs, thank you very much. Make sure you like the videos, subscribe. Do me a favor, click on the ads, because it lets us generate some revenue, and we're going to use that to try to get another camera, because we want to do more stuff. So, you know, it'll just help us make the show better. And, you know, have a good one. See ya.
Have a good one.